cost, but just clarify who owns e-Citizen. Thank you, Speaker.
Senator Veronica Mbadi.
Welcome, Honorable CS, and congratulations on your new appointment. Honorable CS, I want you to tell this House whether there is any plan or strategy to onboard SHIF on e-Citizen, and whether the data that is on NHIF can be migrated to SHIF to avoid the cost of running another system to manage that data. Is there any plan, and how soon is that plan going to be rolled out? Onboarding SHIF onto e-Citizen.
Senator Abbas.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Waziri, congratulations first for the appointment. My name is Abbas Mohammed, Senator for Wajir, and I share the evolution. Actually, there's a big concern of delay of release of funds to the counties. It takes a long time, almost sometimes up to 4 or 5 months. And as a result of that, counties are forced to get salaries from the banks at a higher cost with a high interest rate. And members, reductions for the statutory reductions are not submitted in time, and they are given, given penalties for that delay. I think, I don't know what your ministry is going to do as a result of the delays of salary release, fund release, and also the penalties from KRA and other statutory reduction, institutions like Love Fund, all this, they also put interest on the delay of the statutory reductions. So what is the ministry planning to do to curtail that kind of unnecessary penalties that the counties are facing, and why is the salary for the fund for the counties been delayed so much?
Senator Faki.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi pia najiunga na maseneta wenzangu kumkaribisha Waziri John Mbadi katika bunge la Senate, na pia kumpa kongole kwa kuchaguliwa kwake kama waziri katika serikali. Mheshimiwa Spika, dukuduku langu ni kuhusiana na hilo swala la ucheleweshaji wa fedha kwa kaunti zetu, kwa sababu tumeona kwamba baada ya kuondolewa kwa mswada wa fedha wa mwaka 2024-25 kumekuwa na sitofahamu kuhusu ni vipi wataweza kupeleka pesa katika kaunti zetu. Mheshimiwa Spika, nakumbuka mwaka 2019 tulikuwa katika hali hii, lakini wakati ule serikali ilikuwa mamlakani ilipeleka asilimia fulani ya fedha kwa kaunti zetu. Kwa hivyo waziri, hebu tueleze ni sababu gani hizi kaunti haziwezi kupewa asilimia fulani mpaka asilimia 50 ya zile fedha ambazo walipewa mwaka jana, ili waweze kutumia na kukidhi mahitaji yao wakati tunangojea sheria mpya itakapokuwa tayari. Asante.
You may proceed to respond. Now, honorable senators, if you look at your order paper, the honorable CS is here for purposes of responding to 4 questions. Now, the question asked by Senator Faki, the question asked by Senator Mundigi, and the question asked by Senator Abbas. Those supplementary questions are related to the question which is going to be asked by Senator Muma. So we don't have to ask everything now, because there are 3 more questions, and a lot of the questions that are being asked actually are related to the questions that are yet to be asked. Honorable CS, you may proceed to respond. There's one limb of Senator Ledama's question that you had not responded. How much is paid to the service provider, and whether that has been audited? Proceed. You may proceed. how much is paid to the service provider annually, and whether that has been audited?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the amount of money paid to the service provider fluctuates, and it depends on the number of services offered. But in terms of details, this can be provided by ICT Authority. I know that we pay on average about 180 million per year. Let me just consult 1 minute, Mr. Speaker, on that.
You may proceed to Honorable CS. You may proceed to respond to that questions.
Yeah, so on the specifics of the amounts, we may need to check and supply. But the information, monthly payments, if the Honorable Senate would want, we would still supply it. In fact, we have all the data from the time when this contract was entered into, all the amounts. Now let me respond to the specific questions by Senator Esther. I've not forgotten you. Sometimes, you know, when you are...
Senator Fonandi, take your seat.
Sometimes when you are graduating in age, we don't say you are advancing, but you are graduating in age, your eyes sometimes become, start misbehaving. But we also, politicians don't like wearing specs. You'll notice most politicians, even when they get to 70, 80, they don't like wearing specs. Apart from a few like the leader of minority and Senator Faki. But let me respond by saying that why are hostels still being owed? I think there have been challenges with NHIF. Generally, that is why the government even saw it fit to change the system. There has been a lot of fraudulent activities around NHIF in terms of collusion with service providers, the hostels, and that has complicated the management of this fund. But I would assure this House that there is a high-level engagement to ensure that all pending bills are paid. A lot of pending bills are also owed to NHIF, even by government institutions. And I have the figure, the last meeting we had of a cabinet meeting engaged in this exercise, we agreed that Treasury will work very closely with the ministry to ensure that NHIF, we pay the money that is owed to NHIF so that NHIF can also pay the hostels for a smooth transition to the new system. So there is work going on that. To Senator Chute, final dues not paid since 2020 to a Kenyan, that is very unfair. Actually, let me also confess that I almost said my constituency, but a constituency I've represented for 15 years. There's a lady who yesterday sent me details of her husband, the final dues, and she wants that paid. The husband was a former assistant chief. So there is a problem with the payment of final dues, and this is something that we'll take. So if I could get for the case, so that we address this specific case, but I think we need to have a clear vision on how to resolve all the cases so that they don't come one by. There are people who may not access a senator or a member of parliament. But on this particular one, Senator, you can give us the details and we'll be able to follow it. Senator Wamatinga, the plans to reintroduce Huduma numbers, especially on issues of land compensation. I want to be very clear that what remains the standard document in this country as proof of your being a Kenyan or as a proof of your existence in this country is still national ID. And that is, to me, the anchor point. These others, we can look for ways of integration, integrating our systems, but we must anchor it on national ID. Allow me, Mr. Speaker, to address the issue of pending bills. I think the issue of Senator Kavindu is again on pending bills. I think I addressed that earlier, when I was addressing issues that were raised by Senator Esther. Okay? And then on the issue of issues raised by Tabitha, Senator Tabitha, where application for IDs, and then I think the application for IDs take too long. Maybe I didn't capture it well.
Senator Tabitha.
Just maybe clarify.
Honorable CS, have your team help you by noting down these questions.
Yeah.
I was just asking, the application fee is 300.
No, I got
Replacement fee is 1,000.
I get it now. I get it now.
But my question was, why don't we then bring it to zero cost, since we are Kenyans and we deserve to have the idea? What's your take? And then who owns e-citizen?
Yeah, the one for each citizen I captured. Now, on the ID, Senator, interestingly, I agree with you. Actually, I'm one of the people who are in this school of thought that you don't have to pay to be registered as a Kenyan if we can take up this cost. And not long ago, I spoke to this differently. I don't want to speak a different language because I'm today a CS. I don't think it is wise to charge for new applicants. Maybe you can charge for replacement because, again, you need to be careful when you are given a national identity. You need to protect it so that you don't lose it. But when you are applying for the first time, I am in agreement that this is a fee that needs to be reconsidered. I now sit in the government. I will use that platform to speak in the line that you are speaking. Once the government takes a position, then I will now join the government in speaking the position of the government because I'm in the cabinet. I hope you understand the difference there. Who owns each citizen? Each citizen is now run by the government. And why we pay, I think I explained that you pay for convenience. That is why it is called convenience fee. So you may have a problem with it, but that is the rationale for which it was introduced. It can be debatable whether it's a wise idea, but you pay for convenience because in the absence of this each citizen, it was quite inconveniencing to get government services. And Senator Veronica, a plan to onboard chief onto e-citizen. As we speak, there is high level of engagement in the government to see